Welcome to the show, everyone. We have two very special guests here today. Pete, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Bill, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me again.
Freddie, welcome to the show again.
Okay. I know.
All right, sounds
You're
good.
welcome.
What's up, everybody?
How you doing today? You doing
I'm
good?
doing wonderful. Thank
Good.
you.
Bill, how you doing today?
Beautiful.
Okay. This part of the show, we normally ask our guests here superpowers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you. I got some scenarios here. I want you guys to pick one of these superpowers. Okay. So let's see here. Would you rather turn invisible when no one is looking, or travel forward in time at the speed of time?
I'd go with the invisible. Visible.
Definitely invisible.
Really?
Yes.
I picked the travel forward in time at the speed of time.
So you'd be invisible when no one's looking.
That's awesome because pretty much you are.
Exactly. But who would know? Did you see that? Did you see the scenario?
Did you catch that? Did you catch that? I'll read it again. Would you rather turn invisible when no one is looking, or travel forward in time at the speed of time? It's basically what we're doing right now.
We have both superpowers right now.
Pretty much.
We're doing awesome.
We're time traveling as we speak.
But you guys are here, so we're not
That
visible.
segment is brought to you by Freddie the Troll. He totally got us all. Oh, man. Oh, that was hilarious. So, as you could see, Pete, you brought these lovely masks here.
Do we want to ask him about if he had a superpower, if he wanted to pick one?
You know what? I'm such a bad host. Pete, if you could have any type of superpower in the whole wide world, what would it be?
I would like to fly
Yeah, me too. Is there any reason why behind it?
because I'm a really slow runner.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
So what if you
Deuces.
flew at that same speed?
Then I pretty much look at that point.
What if you had to fly at the same?
Wheelchair man. Woo!
Yeah.
But I'm flying.
That would make a great show.
Hey, it works.
All right, can I change my mind?
It works. It works.
Fly at lightning speed.
Oh, man.
There we go. There we go.
That's hilarious. That's funny. So, again, let's get into it. You brought these lovely masks here. Jason Voorhees mask from Friday the 13th. Phil, what is your involvement with these masks?
I made them.
So
I
you
painted
actually,
them. I made them, drilled the holes, made the straps.
yeah, man, painted it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You do this stuff, right?
Not as much as I used to, but yeah.
you used to do, yeah,
I
I
had my
seen-
own website and everything. So
Yeah, man. I've seen quite a few pictures of your masks and all that stuff. Now, these are your masks,
Yes.
right? And this one is signed. Who is it signed by?
It's by one of my favorite Jason, C.J. Graham.
CJ Graham.
C.J. Graham.
Now, which Friday the 13th did he play?
God, he was what? In,
part 6.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah.
Part 6.
Mhm.
And now, which one was that?
Part 6.
Part 6 one.
All right. So are they both the
it's
same?
where he comes
Same
back.
signature?
Okay. He
break it
dies.
down.
He dies in part 4. Part 5 was like an imposter
Spoiler alert.
Jason. So part 6 was Tommy comes back to make sure he was dead.
Okay.
And he digs his grave. He puts like a fence post into him.
Okay.
And he's going to set him on fire. When he turns around, lightning strikes a pole and
Wow.
comes back to life.
Okay,
That's
Mr.
crazy.
Know-it-all.
So it's like the first zombie Jason that you see. you know.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I saw that one, man. Or I might have. It's just a long time ago. I got to rewatch them.
Back on the signatures, are they signed by the same person or two
Yes.
different ones?
Yes,
Okay.
they're both signed by the same person.
So if you check it out, you guys can look a pretty recognizable signature.
yes.
You like that? Pretty recognizable
Pretty
signature.
recognizable?
Check out the sword.
Check out the recognizable signature.
Pretty
Awesome.
recognizable signature on there.
Okay. All right. As we could tell, Jason, or Friday the 13th, it was actually filmed here in New Jersey. Up
Blairstown.
Yeah, the first
Blairstown,
one.
New
Yeah.
Jersey. You guys are both into the whole horror scene and
Oh, yes.
all that stuff, and getting to a little bit more with you later on about that. And so that was actually filmed there. And shout out to Mike. Mike actually went to the actual campground, Camp Crystal Lake, Is it actually called that?
No.
No, it's actually called Camp Nabiboso. It's a Boy
Nabiboso,
Scout
yeah.
camp.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Boy Scout
And
camp.
the
Yeah.
original cabins and everything are still there. It's
Yeah.
like everything, they have a walls, everything's preserved from the original movie.
Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Mike showed me these
Yes.
pictures, and it was awesome. So
Yes.
so very cool to see that. I actually want to go.
Definitely worth the trip up there.
Yeah. Right. It's good stuff.
You ever go swimming in the lake?
Actually, at the end of the dock, there's a tribute to Jason.
But did you go swimming? Can you go swimming?
Yes, if you're a Boy Scout during the summer when they have a Boy Scout
We have the
activities.
So this is an actual
Yes,
live
it's an actual
camp.
Boy Scout.
Yeah, it's
All the
actual
proceeds
Boy Scout
go-
camp.
Anytime
Here's a
they
fun
have like
fact.
these tours of
in the beginning of the movie,
camp.
you see there's a phone booth, and there, the scene is he's calling his buddy saying that he's there. When they did a cut and they stopped filming for a second, two girls walked up to the phone booth thinking that it was real. And no one said it. They just sat back and watched. And were getting all pissed off because the phone wasn't working.
Real interesting fact about that. I didn't know that it was filmed in New Jersey until an old friend of mine said, "Hey, that pickup truck that picked her up," and she closed the door and it said Stanhope, New Jersey. I was like, "Oh, that's really cool," because they actually lived in Stanhope. They're like, "Oh, this is from our town and all that stuff." So it's pretty cool, man. It's very interesting. And he also said that there was another movie filmed in New Jersey,
The Toxic Avenger.
The Toxic Avenger. Now that is a classic.
Yes.
It's been forever I've seen that. I'm gonna have to go check that
I
out.
don't think I've ever seen it.
You are the Toxic
yeah, you gotta
Avenger.
see
It was
that.
crazy because I got to meet the director of the Toxic Avenger,
Yeah,
Lloyd
man.
Kaufman. I would talk to him for a while.
that's cool.
Yeah, he's real cool, and it's pretty cool because you don't really get to meet people like that anymore. And it's like the guy was so passionate about talking about the movie,
Yeah.
talking about it series and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember the cartoon way back in the day.
Oh, you're talking way back.
Yeah,
You're talking
yeah,
80s.
yeah, man. I
Yeah,
know.
they had toys and everything. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the movie came out and all that. It was pretty cool, man. Good
Traumaville.
stuff.
So go back to this again because I have a question for them too.
Okay, go ahead.
The question is that when did the mask first appear?
Part 3.
God, that was Stephen Nash. No.
He was introduced in part 3. Steve Miner.
Yeah.
He was. There's a bunch of stories,
Yeah.
and the one that
But the
they
first two
main
we
go
didn't have,
by is
correct?
that Steve Miner was doing documentaries on
With the bag
hockey.
head.
He had a infatuation with hockey, and he actually had his hockey equipment in the back of his car. So they designed the mask from the Red Wings.
So
Yeah.
so another question is that who was supposed to be the original villain? Because it was not supposed to be him.
Who was the original villain?
Who was supposed to be the original
the
villain?
original villain was Betsy Palmer, who played Jason's mom.
Yes.
Jason was supposed to, he wasn't even really a character that was supposed to be in the movie, to be honest with you. His idea was to have Friday the 13th and have different stories. Every movie was a different story that revolved around Friday the 13th. But people just loved the Jason character so much, a little bit that was at the very end of the movie. So they kind of went with that.
Yeah. Wow.
Everybody tripped, so everybody dies.
Yeah, so I read that he wasn't even supposed to be deformed and he wasn't supposed to be a zombie, and it turned into that. So
His name was actually going to be Josh.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Josh, are you watching? I know you are.
I'm sure Josh is watching, man. Josh is.
Do you think he's wearing a hockey mask right now?
I don't know about all that. What is interesting as well is I found out not to steer away from Friday the 13th, but the Michael Myers mask was a William Shatner, right? William Shatner's mask,
Yes.
Yep,
It was
painted
supposed
white.
wasn't that supposed to be his face for Star? Like it was supposed to be.
It was a
Halloween
Star Trek
costume?
mask. Yeah, it was William Shatner. Yeah, they just painted it white. They took the eyebrows off and
Yep, yeah.
shaped the hair. And
That's why Michael Myers is
Yeah.
so handsome.
fun fact about Halloween was
Yeah.
before he put the score in the movie, he showed he showed the movie without the score, and they said it was the most boring movie they've ever seen in their life. So he went home, he did the score, he added it to the movie, and then they said it was the scariest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
That kind of shows the importance of music.
absolutely.
in-
Sets the tone and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Absolutely. Very cool, man. So, speaking about that and getting into all that stuff, we're in New Jersey, and there's a little magazine called Weird New Jersey. You guys familiar with that stuff?
Very
Absolutely.
familiar.
Are you? Yeah. I thought it was really low key, man, but it seems like everyone knows
Not
about
weird New Jersey, man.
it. We're in New Jersey. Of course, everyone knows about weird New
We're
Jersey.
on the map.
Yeah, we're all weird. You know what I mean?
It's not just the water that makes us that way.
So, have you guys had any experiences with any of the weird New Jersey stuff that's published in,
Actually, I have had a lot of experiences with the weird New Jersey.
Yeah?
Yes. So, to get into it, like a little bit of history about the weird New Jersey, document stories over all the legends, folklore about
Yep.
New Jersey.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
there's stuff from the Jersey Devil, which is right down the street, to
Yeah.
what's God, I can't think of the name of that street. All the way up in Clinton Road.
Clinton Road, yeah.
Yeah,
Clinton Road.
yeah, Clinton Road's 10 miles long, and
Yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah.
There's like no lights or
no
anything like
lights.
that.
There's
It's a-
phantoms. There's hauntings. There's
It's an
devil
abandoned.
worshippers, witches, and you name it. The Iceman buried hundreds of people out there.
All that stuff. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Who's the Iceman? Have you heard of that?
He was a hitman for
Richard-
the
He
mob.
was a hitman for the mob.
Richard Klemensky or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He was the hitman for the mob in New Jersey.
They have a big
this is
still
documentary. Have you ever
I think he died in
Yeah,
prison.
he died.
died
I think
in prison.
didn't somebody stab him?
I don't know.
No,
I thought he was
died of
still alive.
cancer.
If you ever
Yeah,
get a
that
chance,
was
there's a
it.
good
Yeah.
documentary about him. It's cool.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
The
Yeah.
Iceman cometh or something like that. That's what it's called.
like
Yeah,
a
I'm gonna-
sociopath. He has like no feeling. Like nothing bothers him. You know?
Yeah. Speaking of, don't want to get too crazy about serial killers, but David Berkowitz, the son of Sam, he's still alive.
Yes.
He's still up in upstate New York, in one of those psychiatric institutes and everything. But back on track to Weird New Jersey. My story here with Weird New Jersey, I lived up in Central Jersey. Yes, there's a Central Jersey.
Wow.
Okay.
And
Well, yeah, you beg to differ, Freddie. You got nothing
where,
to say.
where's it at?
I know. Where's it at? Where's
It's in
Central Jersey?
It's in the central part of the Jersey.
Is it before or after Raritan River?
I
It's
always,
right on
I
the-
always thought
it's
of Tom's
right
River
on the
being
Raritan
Central
River.
Jersey.
Right on,
like,
all
from
right,
there
gotcha.
on.
Right on the Raritan River, my little town.
But-
Got flooded out by the Raritan River. But
What
anyway,
town was that?
Huh?
What town was that?
Bound Brook.
Bound Brook, yes.
Yeah, right off of 202. I'm sorry, 22 and 287.
That's actually
right
pretty
there.
funny because I did I had something happen up in was it Saddlebrook?
Okay,
Up around-
Saddlebrook.
right around there, Brown
Yeah.
Brook. It was like I'll get into it later on.
We'll get into that later
Yeah.
on, but that's where I grew up in that little town, and a few towns over, I think it was Basking Ridge. It's called,
Yep.
and that's where the Devil's Tree is, I believe. You guys know the
Yeah,
story?
the devil
Yes.
tree. Yeah, anybody touches it, you get
Yeah.
cursed or something, right?
Yes. So
Nothing grows on it because it's too hot.
Yes,
You know,
it's
like-
crazy.
And I even heard there was
Have you ever seen it? Did
blood
you see
that
it?
still
I saw
pours
it
out
live.
of it.
I mean, we used
Wow.
to when we were younger, young dumb kids, driving around. We'd be like, "Oh, yo, let's go check out the Devil's Tree." You drive. You couldn't really do anything. You couldn't really stop and get out, or
No.
I mean, I guess you could have, but it's on like private land and all that stuff. But I mean, the road goes right around it, and you could take pictures and everything. But we never stopped. We would just keep it moving. But yeah, that story is very interesting. Do you guys know the story of the Devil Tree?
No, I don't know like the story behind it. Nothing like that.
To get into it just a little story time here. I'll cut it down pretty quick. So years and years ago, supposedly a camp counselor, took out his Boy Scouts out there or whatever, and then ended up like killing these kids and hanging them on this specific tree. So then years after that, farmland started building up, and a farmer went crazy and killed his wife and hung himself on that tree. And then supposedly they were starting to building the area up more. So they cut all they cut all the trees down. They put fire in the land, except for this one tree wouldn't burn. And then so what they tried doing was they tried cutting it down with a chainsaw. So supposedly this guy was cutting a tree down, and like blood was coming out of it, which was pretty crazy. Look, this is just the story,
Hey.
the folklore of the tree.
Weird things happen.
Yeah, right. And supposedly, like 2 days after that, like he died, this guy. So this tree still stands there, still exists it's just one tree in this empty lot of land. It's pretty interesting, man. So that's a tree, and you can actually see that, like the chainsaw marks and all that stuff.
Really?
Yeah. From what I believe, what I can remember, it's been forever since I've been up there. But
It's still definitely there.
it's still definitely there.
I believe there's a fence around it now.
Yes.
Yes.
Because people are
Yeah,
messing with it. Kids like trying to like carve into it
exactly.
or steal the bark and doing some crazy stuff. Phil, do you have any weird New Jersey stories? That you
Not. I mean, no, not like yours.
well, mine's just the folklore of.
Yeah, I mean, we always wanted to take day trips and stuff out and see all this stuff that's in the books. Just never had a chance to do it though.
Anything around by us besides the Leeds house? That's the Jersey Devil house, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. What you would know more than I would.
Yeah, actually, I could help you guys out a lot with that.
Please, you're the expert.
Well, as you guys know, I do have a website. It's called Creepy Places of South Jersey.
Creepy Places of South Jersey.
Creepy Places of
We're gonna
South Jersey.
Put that link in the comments below so you could go check out this guy's thing.
It's on Facebook.
.net.
What I do is it's all the research I do about haunted locations in South
Well,
Jersey.
what I wonder is it is it at .com?
No,
or?
it's on Facebook. You just
okay,
type in
alright.
Creepy Places of South Jersey.
Yeah.
What I do is I do a lot of in every little town, every town has a story to tell. Either it's about something creepy, and I try to bring the town out so people get the chance to go out and explore South Jersey.
Yeah.
And it's pretty interesting. There's a lot of history here, a lot of weird things that happen here, and it's pretty cool. And it's like I said, it's like I try to keep it open to the public so they can publish stuff. So that's how I get information. Then if it's a good lead, then I try to do a little bit of research on it. And this way I try to make a story out of it. And so this way it gets people out to explore like Batstow or down by Cape May at Bridgeton. There's a lot of really cool places in South Jersey.
There is. It is. Very cool. Especially where I used to live, the Revolutionary War kind of
Big
went
time.
through that. There was like Washington's Rock, which is really cool setting up there. You can actually stand where the Washington Rock Monument is, and you can actually see New York from there. And I believe that's where Washington stood with this camp and, watched the British coming. So I thought, there's a lot of history, a lot of that stuff.
It's
in
like right here in South Jersey, we have a place called National Park.
National Park.
Yeah, there was one of the biggest battles of the Revolutionary War took place there. And I think we sunk one of the British biggest ships that they had at the time.
Really? Where
And
was
it's
that?
right out in the Delaware River. It's probably, I would say it's probably maybe about an hour from here.
Yeah, not even. Yeah, we take the kids there all the time.
Yeah,
so.
it's a
that's
beautiful
cool.
place.
It's like my waist area. It's like up that way.
Yeah.
It's like Woodbury out that way.
Woodbury and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So.
It's very cool. I'm going to have to check that out. So Creepy Places
Creepy Places of South Jersey.
of South Jersey. It's Facebook.
Yeah, on Facebook.
I have to check that out and see some kind of stories and all that.
Yeah, I got about 20,000 followers.
Wow,
Yes.
man.
Yes.
Jeez, can I have a few?
Hey.
I'm just kidding.
Just a few.
Yeah, just like, like maybe
Yeah, a
like
small
like
following.
10. Can I get like 10?
You know what's funny? One time I was up in Red Bank, New Jersey at a little paranormal store, and I started talking to the lady, and I was like, yeah, this is my website. She's like, I know your website, and it was pretty cool. Because then we had a long talk about like different paranormal things
Yeah, man.
and different like little haunted locations and folklore and stuff like that. It was pretty cool.
That's really cool, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Were you going to touch on the leads? I think
Yeah.
you were going to tell us a story behind that.
Who, me?
No, Pete,
Pete. What is so Leeds house? What it's
But the Leeds house originated probably a couple miles down the street from here, maybe about 2-3 miles.
yeah.
And probably I would say late 1600s, Mother Leeds supposedly had a 13th child, which was, from some people say, was sold, or the soul was given to the devil, or vice versa.
Yeah, there's like different variations
Yeah,
of that
there's
story.
so many
She
different
cursed the
variations
baby
here.
Yeah,
and
it's
that
like
kind of thing.
deformed and all
Yeah,
this stuff.
that's
Some
probably
say
what
she may
it
have been
was.
a
It was
witch,
probably a deformed kid back in the
who
day.
knows?
Yeah. Interesting. And that was the Jersey Devil.
Yeah.
And all that, and caused multiple forest fires here.
multiple forest fires,
You
multiple
got to remember
sightings.
too. Back then, there was a lot of inbreeding.
Yes.
Back then.
Yes.
So,
So-
that could have been a factor too. You know, 'cause
Yeah.
like deformed child
Form child, something like
have
that.
inbreeding.
Yeah, that's the thing. Back then, like if you had a deformed child, that was like the curse of the devil. You know,
Right.
it's like,
Yes.
and they just pretty much locked them in the basement or the attic of a house.
Yeah, that's crazy. Man.
Yeah,
Except he happened to just grow wings and have like hooves for feet.
yeah.
Wow, interesting.
And you wonder
So-
where Phil gets his good looks at.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Damn right.
Interesting. Man. So, also, while we're still on this subject, man, supposedly you do some ghost hunting there?
Yes, I don't call it hunting. It's more or less investigations.
Investigations. Okay,
Yes.
paranormal investigations.
Yes, paranormal investigations. I've been
Interesting.
doing it for about almost close to like 20 some odd years now.
Wow, man.
Yes.
That's interesting. So, do you have any stories that you know of that are pretty good that where you had like
Like
a sighting or something? Or
actually, just right down the street from here, I was a couple years ago. I was asked to investigate a house.
Really?
I'm not going to tell you the location.
Yeah,
but,
please
you know,
don't.
to protect the people's privacy.
Yes, absolutely.
But there was a house probably about within a mile and a half from here,
Okay.
and people always came up to me like, "We think our house is haunted," and you know, so.
So these would be like friends of family or something. and
It's
like-
actually somebody that, somebody knew some, like, I forget the whole thing, but somebody referred us to them.
okay. Yeah,
And
yeah,
they
I got you.
contacted me one night. And
Yeah.
so that's how it got started. And next thing, it turned into probably like a couple week investigation there.
Really, that's
Yes.
cool, man. So they just call you up and say, "Hey, man, I think there is like a
It's not like quite like that because everybody thinks, it's like,
Their
in
house
this
is
country,
haunted or
everybody, like you hear a little tapping at night, everybody thinks their house is haunted.
yeah, and it's
You
just
know,
the
it's
pipes
not
or
like
something
that. You know what I mean? Like people that usually admit to their house being haunted are very standoffish because
Yeah.
they don't want to be deemed as crazy, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So at this house or this location, like what type of equipment and stuff do you bring? Do you have like?
We have right now. I wish I would have brought a little bit more equipment
Yeah.
with me, but
Yeah,
a
for
lot of
another
times we
time.
have. I have like we're high end cameras. Like we have infrared cameras,
Okay.
full spectrum cameras, different types of sensors, K2 meters, anything that detects like a fluctuation in energy fields or motion
fluctuation of energy and stuff.
yeah.
Interesting, man. That's so cool. That like, I didn't know like stuff like that really exists. So basically, you're like a real life Ghostbuster. That's what you do wearing a shirt, man. Look at you wearing
There's
a shirt.
nothing about a Ghostbuster.
No.
Just
But I
like-
mean, yes. It. So that's interesting, man. to,
It's
like-
it's believe it or not, it has a lot to do with a lot of history. It's a lot of research about history,
yes,
and you have to. It's you really have to hunt down the history of the property. You have to really do a lot of research. It's everybody thinks you just go out and walk around and like
Yeah.
you're going to see a ghost. And I try to explain to people, location. If the spirits want to see you, they're going to present themselves.
yes, they're going to present themselves to you.
It's like going fishing. One day you might be out there, catch a ton of fish. Next time you might not get anything.
Interesting, man. So what is it that like keeps? Do you know what like keeps spirits in the location? Is it like a,
There's so many, like there's no
horrific
written book.
death?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everybody has their
Not yet.
religion and stuff like
Not
that.
yet.
What's that?
Not yet.
Yeah, not,
Not
yet.
yet.
Yeah.
Sounds like
But-
a book idea.
Yeah. But everybody has their like religious beliefs and stuff like that.
Yes.
And I try not to tell them, hey, you gotta believe, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
every religion has their own belief.
Yes.
You know, but
Absolutely.
when you think about it, like usually everybody makes a sign of the cross. And when you go to the Father, the Son, the Holy,
Spirit.
Yes.
Or ghost.
yes.
One or the
And
other.
so it's like it's like so something's there.
Yes.
Whether or not it's good, evil, whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
it's there.
Wow.
It's a lot, you know.
Yeah.
There's good spirits, there's bad spirits,
Spirits,
there's
stuff.
there's practical jokers, you know.
Yeah, man. That's interesting.
So what's the difference between ghosts and demons? Is there a difference? Is what are we talking?
A demon is
Welcome to the
you know,
Welcome to the show, Freddie.
yeah. Hey, Fred,
So
how you
quiet
doing?
over there. You all right?
Oh yeah, I'm just letting them speak.
He's
I want to
just
hear him
listening.
So go ahead. What did you say again? Don't mind me. I just
out. The question was about is there different types of ghosts? So is there Casper the Friendly Ghost? Is there
There definitely
is there evil
There
ghosts?
could
Is
be a
there-
friendly ghost. I think Phil had a interesting story about a ghost that was what in your apartment.
Right in my first apartment. Well, I mean, I believe it was haunted.
Okay.
It was a 2-story house. It was divided in 3 different apartments. We had the bigger apartment, and the girl was with she collected these ceramic angels. She had about 15, 20 of them. We come out in the morning and all their backs would be facing us every morning. We had to turn every one of them around. I mean, all kind of stuff like that. Anytime anybody went into our apartment, it always felt like somebody's watching you. You know, they always had that creepy feel. So one night, her cousin was like, "Yeah, he's a non-believer," you know, quote unquote. And I said, "Something always happens. You always see something." So I said, "Come on over, and you know, we'll see if you can see anything." So it was just me and him, and I shut the lights on. We're watching, and out of you can from where we're sitting, you go right into the bathroom. So out of the bathroom, you see this warm green glow. It was like it would just shine for a second, and I was counting. It was like every 10 seconds you'd say, and it was only like so high off the ground.
Yeah,
there was nothing in the bathroom that would illuminate a light like that, and it wasn't cars. Anytime a car would pass, you see the lights go around the room. You know.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that. I can't tell you what it was, but we saw stuff like that all the time. You know.
That's crazy, man.
So
it's like even there's a local courthouse that we were asked to investigate for. It was almost a 4-year investigation there.
Wow.
And in one of the areas of the courthouse, somebody committed suicide by hanging.
Oh, that's crazy.
And one night we were doing the investigation there, and it was funny because one of the guys that wrote for Weird New Jersey was part of our group.
Wow.
And we were investigating this one area, and all of a sudden, like when you were asking like how you're talking here, you just ask questions like, is there anybody here that would like to communicate with us and stuff like that? Well, one of our meters, it's like lights up. Like there's like 4 different colors on it. There's a white, a red, a yellow, blue. And usually if what you would do is try to get a response to see if it's like if you're like, it's a true haunting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, while we're there, so one of the people asked is like, "Hey, if there's anybody here, could you make the blue light come on?" A couple seconds later, we hear a buzzing sound. The blue light comes on.
Wow.
So we start asking questions, and next thing, one of our people look, and we have a temperature meter or temperature gauge, and whatchamacallit, it comes up 666.
Wow. Jeez.
And within that investigation, we actually have this still on camera. You can see a dark shadow in this like attic. It was circling our group. So the whole entire time we were filming the shadow, and it was pretty crazy, man. It was like one of the, it was like it was a well documented happening, you know.
I think the 666 would have got me going. Like,
yeah, and then, it's like everybody's like, is that coincidence? We don't know. It's like that was just weird because like the equipment that we use it's so sensitive. It's you know, it's very unlikely it's going to fail or you know.
You use that Ouija board?
Excuse me?
Use that Ouija board?
That's a gateway to hell right there, man.
Yeah,
I would never mess with that.
Is that really?
Because a lot of people play with them, man. And I was like,
you really think so?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bad stuff.
I really do.
Well, I mean, it's a board. I mean, what makes it?
Well, it's the whole history. It was made it started off in the Victorian era, and it was because it was about seances and reaching out to their loved ones. And who kind of like really started this was like Houdini and I believe the Winchesters. Mrs. Winchester, after her husband died,
the Winchester
always
house.
did always did seances and everything, try to lure their dead back. And it's like some people, you know, I'm not going to say, you have to believe in it, but weird things do happen. Things go bump in the night, you know, and it's like you can't prove it.
So you never mess with one then I'm taking?
Me personally, no. I really don't want to mess with one.
Yeah. I never wanted to mess with one.
No, me either, but I just figured I'd throw it out there.
Did you mess with one?
I heard of people messing with.
Did you ever see The Exorcist?
Yes.
Do you know how she became possessed?
No, I didn't.
No one ever gets this. The beginning of the movie, she's in her basement playing with a Ouija board.
Really? There you go. That's, man. I have to watch that movie again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, which one was that? I mean,
Exorcist, for the original Exorcist.
The original one?
Yeah.
The original one with Linda Blair.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. So, I have one of these ghost stories as well, man. Real
Let's hear
crazy.
this.
Huh?
I'm waiting to hear it.
Okay. So, I don't know this location, but it was up there in Central Jersey. It was my buddy Adam, myself, still in high school and everything. He had a Jeep Wrangler, and it was kind of like a nice, cool night. He had the top off. We're out there, and
Bet he did.
Huh?
Nothing. Go on. What's that to do with ghost? I'm a little confused.
So the Jeep, he had the top off the Jeep. The soft top Jeep. He had the top down off of the Jeep. So we were just riding around, and he heard about this place, and supposedly this place is real. My sister, she might even know because she lived up close around there. I'm gonna have to reach out to her and kind of get that location. It's pretty interesting. So there was this house. So this house on the street, this house by itself, and on the other side was like developments, pretty much. So it was just like this huge field with one house in there. It was all boarded up and everything. And supposedly the story was this rich family was having a party there. And supposedly there were bad people that wanted to, I guess, kill these people, these rich people. So what they did was they disguised themselves like they were having a party. So the bad people, they disguised themselves as like waiters and stuff like for the party. So they went in there, and what they did was they poisoned, I think, like the food and the drinks. And so, that's how they were going to kill these people. So these people were eating the food and drinking the drinks, and it wasn't enough poison to actually kill them. So these people were hallucinating. So the people were like, it's not working. So they actually started hacking them up and killing them. And people actually made it out of the house and were like running, like trying to get away. And like supposedly people were like murdered out in the front lawn and all that stuff. And so that's the story with that. When we went there at night. He turned off the Jeep. And we were just like sitting there, just sitting there waiting. I think this was like 2:00 in the morning or something. And, we're just chilling. And, man, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about this story. It's crazy. So we're just hanging out there, 2:00 in the morning, super quiet. And then like we hear something. It's like kind of like a muffled voice. Hear it. We're like, what is that? And so we hear it again, and it's getting a little bit louder, a little bit clearer. And we're like, really, like, what is that? And then like the last time, like we hear it plain as day, it's like this little girl's voice saying, guys, get out of here, guys. Oh man, turn on that Jeep when we were out of there. I'm getting goosebumps right now because that was crazy.
You know what was crazy? One time I was on an investigation. That this is the one thing that really creeped me out. We had a spirit box,
Spirit box.
Yes, and then what a spirit box does, it picks up frequencies and radios and stuff, and something went over the spirit box and it mimicked like people's like wives.
Really?
Yeah, and so one of our investigators was going on like, who are you? And then you hear something like, David, you need to come home now. And it was pretty creepy. And the guy is like looking at me, and we're all sitting around like, this can't be real,
Yeah.
And next thing then I hear like another little voice of a little girl that lives with me. And it's like you hear mommy like that. And it was like, it's so creepy because this is what I mean. Like when you start messing with something you don't know.
Oh yeah.
It's like, it's endless because it's like, that's how people say. It's like, you could believe it or not. You know what I mean? It's like, you could say, oh, that's not true or whatever.
Yeah.
But this stuff happens all the time, man. And it's like, it's creepy. Like weird things do happen.
So was there ever a point in time to where you were so creeped out, you're like, I gotta get out of here right now.
Yes.
And take a break.
Yes. I took a break for about a year from it.
Did you?
Yes.
And what was like what was the last straw? That kind of
the last straw was I was filming. I'm assuming it was a demonic entity.
Okay.
In a building, and we had a medium, and she was in another room.
Yeah.
And I'm out in this hallway by myself, and as she was talking, saying there's something evil in this like building, and it. And as I'm like looking, I'm thinking I was having a problem with one of our cameras because I see it like coming down the hallway. I just see a black mass. It's just blackness just coming down towards the hallway. And maybe I would say it was about like 12 foot in front of me, and it looked like an arm started coming out. And at that point, it was like I gotta go. It's time to bounce, man.
I gotta go.
I was like, it was like that. Like, I actually had to stop for a while, man, because
do you ever get afraid of getting like what do they call it? Attachments?
Yeah, definitely. It can happen, man. It happened to one of our investigators. They were at a house down in Cape May, and coming home from the investigation, they really thought they brought somebody home.
Oh man,
it's insane.
Oh, that's gotta be.
And it's
crazy,
like,
man.
Like. Spirits do attach to people, It's like things you can buy. You go out to an antique store, you don't know. You might buy something that somebody loved, and now you're in possession of their belongings.
Oh man, that's crazy. So, is there anything that like you could do to like ward off like spirits or anything like that, like burning sage?
Yeah, like sage is a very good thing. I'm not saying it's the best thing to use.
I mean, yes. I mean, obviously,
like there's so many methods. Like it's like so many people. Like you have sage. You could use like some people like do an offering like tobacco in the or
interesting
do offerings.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
And it's like there's so many things. It's like I don't know. It's kind of weird because a lot of people don't really know what we're talking about. Like when I'm like telling you like an offering, it's but. A lot of the most common is the sage, where they walk around my house and
sage, and they're burning sage with evil spirits and stuff.
Yes. Is that why you have so many chickens? You offer,
excuse me?
Is that why you have so many chickens? You offer a chicken once in a while.
I cut the heads off.
Oh man, I feel like that's something like from the Native Americans.
To put you that it really did originate from there.
What, the burning of the sage?
Yeah, the burning of the sage.
Yeah. So. I really like that Native American history.
Have you ever been to any, I guess, known places in New Jersey that were haunted? So, for instance, I'm looking up here, Greystone Psychiatric Hospital.
What? Greystone?
That's in North Jersey.
Greystone.
I'm just trying to read up.
This is an interesting place. It's called the White Hill Mansion.
White Hill Mansion?
Yeah, which was on TV or like multiple times. Other places are like the Southern Mansion in Cape May.
Southern Mansion? Where's it? Oh, you said Cape May?
Yes.
Now, are these locations and stuff, are they on your Facebook page?
Yeah, it's going to be on there. Actually, somebody wanted me to do a live recording of one of the investigations one time.
Wow.
But this was at the White Hill Mansion, so I put bits and pieces of what you're looking at, and it's pretty boring. You're just... you're walking around the house, and everybody thinks, oh, you're going to see a ghost just pop out at you.
No, yeah.
It's not like that. Really, can it happen? Yeah, but it's very, very rare.
How about bats, though?
Bats, though, it has a lot of interesting things.
A lot of people say that's really haunted.
That cemetery is the heebie-jeebies. There's a lot of activity there, man.
What, in Basto
Cemetery?
Basto Village?
Yeah.
Really, man? Because I go hiking up there at Mullica Campground or whatever, man. I didn't know that. Yeah. It's like haunted up there.
Like the mansion and all, right?
There's a place called Snake Hill I'm reading here.
Snake?
Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Where,
oh, okay.
Where's that at, man?
I'm just looking up
a couple things here. These things you're looking up are in North Jersey.
Was that? It's a psychiatric hospital.
Yeah.
It said it was it keeps going. It keeps basically going workers while working the land for the road apparently uncovered the dead. Could have been up to 10,000 undiscovered graves there.
Mm-hmm. It happens because that's what people did.
Mostly there was the mentally ill and poor. In later years, there was
well, that's like there's an island in New York. I forget. I think it's called Love Island or something like that. And they would bury like unnamed graves, like homeless people that were never, I guess, recognized by their family or anything. And when COVID happened, they were burying people there. Like it was like mass graves. It was ridiculous. It was pretty crazy. But during wartime of the the Revolutionary War and the Civil War, I could understand that and see that because there's hundreds of people dead in these battles, and they would probably just mass grave and just throw them all in there. It's crazy.
To tell you a quick story, what got me into the ghosts and stuff like that. It actually was at Gettysburg.
Oh, you went to Gettysburg?
I went to Gettysburg. I was probably about 17 years old at the time.
Wow.
And it's probably like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. We shouldn't have been out on the battlefields at that point.
Not.
Yeah.
Oh,
but we were out there, and
awesome,
it was like, and I remember I was with my brother, and we were looking, and I remember I was tapping him on the shoulder. I was like, "Yo, do you see that?" And we were like both turn around, and the next thing we just see these two guys. They were just like marching in like a formation, and it looked like two Union soldiers, like real people, like And ever since that, I was like hooked on it.
Wow!
And it's crazy. Like as fast as you saw them, they just faded away into nothing. And it was like, then you get there, and there's hundreds and hundreds of stories of like apparitions and stuff like that. Especially at Gettysburg, it's really interesting. It's a neat place to go to.
So you never been to like an abandoned psychiatric hospital of any sort? Because I was just looking up some stuff like that.
Like abandoned psychiatric hospitals, you have to really
Eastern State Penitentiary.
Like what's that?
Eastern State Penitentiary, the one in
I've been to Eastern State.
Yeah,
I was in that one.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool there.
Yeah. They have like a haunted walk in there, like during Halloween and stuff.
And all that
I
stuff.
did that.
I know they have like an abandoned place in Trenton too. I forget what it's called.
There's quite
like stuff like with like when you go into psychiatric hospitals, man, that's like kind of like things I stay away from because everything that happened there wasn't good.
So you think if you go to a place that
poor
wasn't
people
good?
suffered, man, and it's like I think if anybody went to them, they would tell you that's what they would pick up on. You probably got a lot of pissed off spirits in those places.
So you're not going to places like that.
No, I try not to.
yeah, that kind of creeps me out too. Like abandoned psychiatric hospitals. I mean, it would be interesting to see.
But what's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you? So I know people talking. You
told that story that
I'm wondering if something actually happened. Have you witnessed something like?
Oh, there was a house. Yes, I was at a house. With a
anything.
Yeah, there was once again it's people that hit our group up, and we went to investigate their house, and they always told us that different things happen in their house at certain times, and so we go there. We set up our cameras, and allegedly they always hear footsteps going across their attic, like at say 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So one night we were there, and it's probably in the early morning hours. So, and once again, we have people trying to communicate, and next thing on one of our cameras, the attic door, it's like you have to imagine like in the older houses they have a stairwell going up into the attic. It's like a walk-in attic.
There's a door,
and there's a door on the camera. You start seeing the door knob starting to wiggle.
Oh man!
And the door just flies open, and it's like it was so weird because we're like watching it and we're like somebody has to be up there because it's like this doesn't happen,
Now, do you immediately go up there and like check it out, or do you give it a second?
You give it time. You don't want to just, you just want to like really, if you're getting good evidence, you don't want to contaminate it.
Yeah.
So you give it a good 15 minutes and see what happens. Then, as probably within the 5 minutes, as when the door opened, the door just slammed shut.
Wow.
Yeah. So then we had to draw straws to see who was going to go up there to go look in the attic, make sure nobody was up there.
So you ever been in a place like Amityville Horror? I believe it's up in New York.
Yeah, that's in New York.
Amityville Horror. That's actually the original house is in New Jersey, Tom's River, New Jersey.
That's where it was filmed.
Yeah, that's where it was filmed.
That's called Hill House or something?
Yes.
Yeah, man.
You ever been in any place like that?
The only thing I ever been to is once again the White Hill Mansion.
Okay.
There was like a ton of murders in the house, like a lot of from the Revolutionary War period all the way up to probably like the 30s. The mafia used it as a stronghold.
Yeah.
Off to quite a few people in there.
I've been to Salem, Massachusetts. You know, the whole witch trials and the House of the Seven Gables and everything like
I was going to ask you, have you about the 13 Witches, I think it's called? Have anyone heard anything like that?
13 witches.
Yeah, I think it's with 13 sisters. They end up,
Oh yeah.
I think they end up being like buried, and they actually have a road, I think, that has the 13 bumps where they were allegedly buried because I think they like paved the road or something.
Really?
Something along those lines. I'm not, again, 100% sure, but supposedly when you drive, you can feel the
bumps in the road.
bumps, and after 13, you're supposed to say something crazy like 13 witches, and when you turn around, they're supposed to apparently appear.
Here?
Yeah.
This in Jersey?
Yeah.
Hey, you know, as the echo goes, you know, you flip your lights on a couple
Yeah,
times.
I was going to
down
mention
on,
that.
Nah.
I think that might be in Weir, New Jersey. That
Yeah, it is.
goes.
Yeah, I think
That
that
goes.
We
goes,
did that a million times. Yeah, it's just a street light that illuminates. It causes an illusion of this little kid
Really?
that dances across the street. Yeah,
Oh, that's crazy,
but
man.
a story goes a little deeper too. The apparently because behind you, it's supposed to be a dead end road, but it's actually a dirt road that goes all the way back.
Okay.
And apparently there's like satanic rituals and stuff that go back there. And all they drive is black cars, and we were always told this. And I was out there with a friend of mine, and we were, did the flashing light, this and that. Well, there's a hill behind you. If you see headlights come out of the dirt road, it goes down this little hill. It gives you enough time to go. Yeah. Well, I wasn't paying attention. I kind of looked up, and I saw these headlights coming up the hill, going real fast.
Oh man.
Next, you know, I'm doing 80, and it's this black vehicle, completely black vehicle, was on my ass the whole time. And you go down, there's a stop sign. I didn't even stop. I just barreled ass around, and next thing I look across the field, and he turned around. And he was going back towards.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
Ooh,
I don't know if that was just a coincidence or what, but it was a completely black vehicle and definitely was chasing us. So
that is crazy.
I think someone who owned the.
were they
owned the
messing
property.
with us? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I have no
Could
idea.
be, yeah.
Have you ever been around Egg Harbor City? I think isn't that cabin down there?
Indian cabin.
Yeah,
What?
it's an
cabin?
abandoned church there
The church is a long time gone.
down a
Yeah.
dirt road.
Yes.
It's like legit down a dirt road with no lights, no
Yeah,
engine.
no
again?
nothing.
Well, maybe you can speak a little bit more of it.
Out by the Egg Harbor City Lake.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The church is no longer there. They
Yeah,
demolished that a couple years ago.
Yeah, I've been out to that lake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
boy.
there was a little cemetery out there where it's people swear they see a ghost of a mother that lost her children out there.
That drowned in Egg Harbor
Yeah.
City Lake.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of history around here. That's interesting, man.
So you ever go to that church and do any investigating there? Or?
Nah, I never really had any been out there. It's like but I have been to Egg Harbor City Cemetery. I've been there a few times. That's though I've been, in South Jersey. I've been from like a lot of my work is done down by Cape May.
Yeah, a lot of revolutionary Victorian homes. And all
Yes.
that stuff. Very, very interesting, man. It's good stuff.
So can you investigate this place? Because there's a lot of stuff going on. Holes in the ceiling.
No. The
A
holes,
lot of holes in the
are good.
ceiling.
Holes good.
A lot of
I
stuff
mean,
going on in here that we don't know
Gives the
about.
spirits time to
Almost
leave.
good. It's almost good. It's almost good. But you got anything? You got anything for
No,
me?
I'm just saying that a lot of weird stuff's going on with the holes in the ceiling. Strange posters appear on the wall. I'm not 100% sure. You know what I mean? So
What do you mean? What strange posters?
the
What are you
strange
talking
posters
about?
come out of nowhere. I don't know if it's like a. Is that you?
Unicorn.
That's
Where the,
It's magical.
that's the only thing about the unicorn, man. Like
what are you talking
that's the
about?
only strange poster that is on the wall.
Nothing strange about it. It's beautiful.
There's nothing that I
Is it
like.
beautiful?
It needs my
Love
name on it.
You know what, man?
I absolutely love it.
I'm so done with that poster.
Yeah. How about you save
so
that
done with it.
poster?
No,
That's a good poster.
No, it's going. You like that
I
poster?
like that poster.
Love that poster.
You like that poster?
Hey, it's
You know
magical.
You like that poster?
I want to sign that poster.
Put your name on it.
Tell you what, anybody
I'm
that
gonna
loves
put
that
my
poster,
name on
leave
it.
some
You want me
comments.
to put my
Let's
name
go.
on it?
Put your name on it. What is going on here? What is going? Oh, we're doing this live. It's going live. He is doing this.
He's doing it.
He's doing it.
Beautiful
Doing
baby
it.
boy. He's doing it.
Come on, Pete.
Oh, you
what
just
got
right there, of course, right? Figured he's right there.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh,
All right.
Phil, Are you doing this too?
Am I?
Oh man. There you go, Phil. Watch out, Pete. He's gonna have to get through you. Look at this.
Push through.
Look at this. Oh man. Oh, we got two signatures going up on this poster. Oh boy. I'm in trouble now. I think we're gonna have to keep this. But
Now you have to. You have no choice now.
on that note, man, I think we're I can't go any further than that. But I think we're done for today. Pete, thank you very much for coming on to the show.
A lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Bill, thank you again for coming
Absolutely.
back onto the show.
Absolutely.
We're gonna get your Facebook page. I'm gonna put that link down in the comments below so people can check it out.
Places.
Go from there.
South Jersey.
No,
Absolutely.
it is a good site. I'm part of that too.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. So not part of it, but I'm.
Yes, you're a follower. and all that
Follower,
stuff.
yeah.
So
It's
thank you very
definitely
much,
cool.
everyone.
Knife hand, end it.
I hope you enjoyed this show.
End it with the
Hope you
knife
enjoyed
hand.
this conversation.
Okay, I can't
Knife
wait to
handed
watch
out.
it.
Knife hand out.
If you guys have any ghost stories or anything like that you would like to share, write them in the comments below. Reach out to Pete or Phil, even Freddie or myself. Let us know your ghost stories.